And a hearty good day to you too, super friends. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Brad, the DC Universe Geek, and today I'm going to be reviewing for you the brand new DC Multiverse KGBeast and Katana. I was actually going to review Tim Drake next, but I figured that I would break it up since I've already reviewed a Dick Grayson and a Jason Todd. Let's give the former Robins a break for an episode and do these two. So at the front of the packaging, you can see you got the great big window boxes there in the front. You can see each of the characters, the KGBeast and Katana right there after the side. DC Multiverse, there are the names, there's the logos, blah, 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 yabba yah. Here we have the left-hand side of the KGB box and the right-hand side of the Katana box. We flip those around like that, and then we got the right-hand side of the KGB box and the left-hand side of the Katana box. Wow. That was a mouthful, and it's kind of confusing, isn't it? The bottoms of the boxes right here, I mean, we know what that looks like, but you got the barcodes, so I'm sure you're going to want to see those. Now, here's the back of the boxes, and being that it is the Collect and Connect Killer Croc wave, Katana comes with the torso, and KGBeast comes with the head and the groin. Each of these guys also has a short little bio on the top. DC Rebirth Katana. The vigilante samurai Katana uses her deadly mystic sword, the Soul Taker, to battle evil as captain of the Suicide Squad. And now the KGBeast. DC Rebirth KGBeast. One of the world's best contract killers. The man known as the Beast is hired to take out Batman. Yep, that's it. Let's open them. You know what? Today I think I'll forego the opening scenes. Poof! Ta-da! Jazz hands, all out of the package. Katana, Soul Taker. Extra open hand for holding the Soul Taker. Killer Croc's epic torso of scaly green muscliness. Yeah. The KGBeast with dual boot knives, arm gun machete, and other bit that fits in the arm gun. Killer Croc's blue-jeaned groin, belt, and buttocks. And finally, the face of watery death itself. Killer Croc. Oh look, his mouth opens. Well, that's cool. Yep, that's all of it. As for these Killer Croc parts, I'm just going to take them out of the way, pop off Katana's fisty hand, install the open hand for holding the Soul Taker, and then install the Soul Taker into her hand. Dude, that's a really huge handle. Now, as far as the selection for these two figures go, being in the final wave of Multiverse, I'm down with that. I've wanted a Katana figure for a very long time. And though I've never asked for a KGBeast, they did a really good job on this guy. Let's look at them both up close. Starting with Katana. Katana is just your basic naked female DC Multiverse doe body. I say doe because a buck is a male and a doe is a female. Buck and doe? No? Okay. But yeah, she's basically just your average female multiverse body. But she does have some newly sculpted detail in the shoulder pad and her wrist bracers. And of course, she's got a brand new sculpted face. I mean, you wouldn't be expecting anything else. You couldn't get away with using someone else's face on a Katana body. But yeah, no real complaints about this figure because the paint is neat. I don't really have that much in the way of overlapping or sloppy paint, although she does have an odd glue splotch in the front part of her hair, but other than that, she really is a very tidy figure. And she's got your very simple female articulation that is very similar to the males, with all the articulation points that we've come to know from the DC Multiverse figures with ankles on pivots. I wanted to point that out because not all the Multiverse figures do have ankles on pivots. The shoulders are supposed to go all the way up and around because they're ball hinges, and you have the spinny single joints. And if you know me, you've heard me say that if it's not going to be double jointed, I'm happy with it going 90 degrees and then rotating. I'm cool with that. The wrists have a spin and a hinge. Where she runs into a bit of problems is actually the shoulder. The pauldron really doesn't get in the way that much. They've actually designed it so that it will, you know, come out of the way. But, well, no, you know what? I guess that still doesn't bother me. That's all right. That certainly could be a lot worse. And, of course, the head is on a ball peg, while the torso itself is on a ball peg. I know that some of you folks really don't like this form of female articulation. I'm sorry, I do. I prefer this articulation to an ab crunch any day of the week. One of my gripes about this figure, though, is that she comes with the sword, but she does not come with any place to store it. No kind of scabbard for her whatsoever can be found anywhere on this figure. And that is a little frustrating because she has a scabbard. But overall, I think that Mattel did a pretty good job on Katana. It's a figure that I wanted. She's clean, she's neat, she has enough articulation points for me, so yeah, I like her. Next, we move on to Russia's premier and most dangerous assassin, the KGBeast. This is a figure, like I said, I didn't ask for, I never thought in a million years I'd ever want, but I feel like they did a bang-up job on this guy. And he very easily, at this size, considering he's on a Masters of the Universe body, he could have very easily been the Collect and Connect figure for this wave, rather than just one of the regular figures. But obviously they went bigger with Killer Croc. The little boot knives, they come right out of his holsters right there. They fit in there nice and tight. They don't fall out when the figure's upside down. And obviously he came with 2 of those, as previously mentioned. And he also came with this here machete, which obviously you can see it just fits right in the end of his gun there. Or it can be stuffed in his hand and he can just wield it like a regular person would use a machete. Most people don't have one of those on their arm. As well as this one last little removable piece that goes right in the end like that. This figure is painted nicely and he looks pretty slick. The red paintwork all up his left bicep there actually looks pretty nice. The whole kit and caboodle right here, it's painted nicely as well. There's not a lot of paint slop really anywhere. This could have done with a bit of shading, but no complaints. He's got some pretty nice detail work on his spiked knuckle glove. The belt, which is sculpted onto his rubber bodysuit here with more spikes on the shoulder, looks really nice. The whole thing looks really nice. The ninja stars sculpted on there, the belt buckles, the pouches, the trademark stuff. Yeah, all looks really nice. I'm just kidding about the trademark stuff. Mine's got a little wet mark there, almost like he's got swamp butt. Like he's been sitting in a chair for too long. But this guy has a lot of newly sculpted detail. I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, but everything has been sculpted onto him except for the top line of his gloves here. It's all brand new. New tooling is expensive, they say. And then you've got, whoops, oh, I was going to mention this. I guess I might as well now since he just fell apart. The only problem with this, much like the Lobo Collect and Connect, when you put them together, he wants to come apart very easily because the rubber sitting right here around his waist, it doesn't quite sit flush. So it pushes up. It's very unfortunate. Actually, when I first opened him up and took him out of the package, his legs and torso separated and fell on the floor and I was like, I killed the KGBeast. I'm not sure if I feel bad or if that's an accomplishment. The face sculpt for everyone's favorite Russian assassin looks fantastic as well. You got the paint that is on mine mostly following into the areas it's supposed to be in, so no real complaints there. And overall, it's pretty sweet that we got him because he's a villain from Batman's Rogues Gallery that we just didn't have. And now we do. If you're familiar with Motu figures as well as DC Universe Classics and Multiverse, then you'll know that he's going to have pretty much the same. The head's on a ball peg, but it's also on a hinge. Yep. That's definitely a hinge. Shoulders, that's as high up as they go. 360 bicep swivels, single jointed elbows. He's got rotation right here, which is cool too, so you can turn it in the direction that you want to for action figure photography. And he has a rounded ball hinged wrist with an okay range of motion. Obviously, he's going to have a tornado waist because it's on that peg. He does, if you can see there, have an ab crunch. His assassin's tunic does get in the way of that a little bit though. He's got a more DC Universe Classic style hinged groin, single jointed knees, and hinged pivoty ankles. That is it. That is all she wrote. Personally, I like these figures a lot, and I think it was really thoughtful of them to give us 2 different characters that we've never had in the Multiverse or in the DC Universe Classic scale before. The only other Katana we've ever gotten, she's been part of the Multiverse Suicide Squad line. Other than that, the only others have been from DC Collectibles. So I think it's pretty cool that with the last wave of Multiverse figures, they're really trying to round it out for us and give us a few more characters. I mean, what with Red Hood and Dick Grayson Batman and Katana and the KGBeast, all characters that we've never gotten before, as well as Alfred and Tim Drake Robin, both of which I haven't reviewed yet, but we've never gotten. At least definitely not Alfred and not Tim Drake in his Red Robin uniform. So far, this is turning out to be a wave worth having. Both of these figures I would mark very highly. I can't really give them a mark out of 10 because I don't have much to compare them to, but I don't really have that much to complain about. I would take marks off of Katana for not having the scabbard, and sure, I guess maybe the details on her clothing there, the silver lines, could have possibly been sculpted, but for me, it's just not really that big of a deal with this figure. And the KGBeast, I can't really think of anything about it that I don't like, that I want to nitpick about and say that I don't like this figure. It's actually a really good figure, and a great version of the character, and an awesome selection for this wave of figures. But hey, this is just the ideas and observations of one action figure reviewer and DC fan, and I'm sure you're gonna have your own, so hey, why not take the time to leave them down in the comments section below? And while you're down there, if you like this video, you could click the thumbs up button to know that I've done something right today. And finally, if it's your first time here and you think you may want to see more from my channel show up in your inbox, then I invite you today to become a super friend and join us, the DC Squad, simply by hitting the subscribe button and ringing that notification bell so that you get notified of when I put out new videos. That is if you want to. And with that, I'll see you next time with the next video. Have a DC day, super friends, and take care.